And we're back. This is Beats McKenzie, welcoming you back to the relaunch of What's the Beats? And I'm ready to get right into it. This is what I'm going to call a new segment. This is Beats Rants. And today I'm going to rant on the PS Vita and a little bit about the future of the handheld gaming market. So let's get right into it. PS Vita, beautiful screen, slick specs, all the rage. Sony's newest handheld platform, touch screen, touch back panel, 2 analog sticks. Whoop-de-doo. This is like everything the PSP should have been when it launched in 2005. So what is my deal with the PS Vita? Alright, before I even get into the PS Vita, let's kind of look at the PS Vita's competition. And right now, the direct competition to the PS Vita is Nintendo 3DS. Which, it's kind of clunky looking. It had a slow start when it launched last year, but it's picked up now, so that's its main competition. Nintendo and Sony are at it again. Now, if this sounds familiar, it's because this exact same battle took place in 2005. So let's jump back into DeLorean and take a look at 2005 and see where the market was then. 2005, Nintendo and Sony were again launching their new flagship platforms for their mobile gaming devices. Back then it was Nintendo launching the DS, which was clunky, kind of like a kid's toy. It had touch. No one really knew what to do with touch controls then, including Nintendo, because the launch lineup wasn't great. It did okay when it started, not amazing. At the same time, no one really cared about the DS because Sony was dropping its first handheld system, the PlayStation Portable, the PSP, and minds were blown, eyes were melted, women and children were screaming, cats and dogs living together. This thing was amazing. It was the PS2 in your pocket, amazing graphics, giant beautiful screen, multimedia. So, throw out your laptops, throw out your iPod, hide your kids, hide the wife. You got the PSP. This is it. This is amazing. That's what everybody thought. All the gaming journalists this was it. PSP was gonna trump whatever Nintendo had. So, we all know how that turned out. So let's fast forward to today. We got Nintendo releasing the 3DS, kinda kiddie, not amazing specs, and yes, it still has touch, but now it has 3D, which people don't really know what to do with it yet. It's an unknown quantity, including Nintendo. The launch lineup wasn't great, but it eventually found its footing. But then no one cares because, hey, Sony announced the PS Vita. This was what the PSP was supposed to be. Bigger screen, OLED, beautiful, multimedia, powerhouse device. The PS3 in the pocket, or I don't know, maybe if you have hammer pants, those pockets. But the PS3 experience in the palm of your hand. Who wouldn't want that? Well, turns out, I don't think anybody wants that. This is my problem. Why does Sony think trying the same thing twice will somehow magically work? And to make matters worse, we're even in a more complicated, more complex, and more competitive market. Let's go back to 2005. What were really the multimedia powerhouse devices that everyday people consumed and utilized for productivity and entertainment? Who knows? The Palm Treo, Blackberries, iPods were just getting popular. They weren't touchscreen yet. Many of them weren't color yet. But then they just really primarily played music, not much more. There really wasn't a consumer portable industry. It didn't really exist yet. Yes, there were quote-unquote smartphones, but the basic phones we get today are better than the most premier smartphones in 2005. So that market doesn't count. So now in 2012, not only do you have to combat Nintendo, which has owned the handheld market since there was a handheld market, but now you're in direct competition with the multimedia devices from all different industries. You have Android, you have iOS, you got Windows 7 devices, and there's just product segments that didn't exist in 2005 that now dominate in 2012. Smartphones didn't exist in 2005 the way we know them. They weren't multimedia devices or productivity devices the way we know them today. You have ultra portable PCs, netbooks, MacBook Air type situations where you pretty much have a PC on the go. Those things are powerful enough today with Core i3, i5, i7 processors. These things are beasts. And then you have the most important product segment that wasn't even a thought in 2005, tablets. Tablet market is a direct competition, as much as Sony may not even want to admit it, to their PS Vita. Because now you're asking consumers who probably make just as much or less money as they did in 2005 and have less or equal disposable income to now want to purchase yet another product in a new segment when they have to maintain and invest in their smartphones, tablets, and laptops, and then you want them to buy a fourth device to carry with them? Really? And you think this is going to work? How? That's the problem. Sony, I don't think you understand the type of environment that you're releasing the system in. This is not 2005, and it didn't work 2005. And it's worse now, yet you're somehow thinking this is going to work? I don't get it. And I didn't even get to the main part of this where the PS Vita is $250. That's a decent price, but it comes with no memory. So if you actually want to, play a video game, you have to spend money on the memory cards in the unit to have memory. Sony, what are you doing? Fail. I think it's just arrogance. They can't be ignorant to what's going on. They have to understand the tablet space, the smartphone space, where iOS, Android, and Windows Phone are going, and how they've created these ubiquitous just convergence of UI and experiences that people can take with them anywhere on the go. You have to realize trying to break in there with one device that is neither a phone nor a tablet is almost impossible. Not to mention trying to compete with Nintendo on just a straight gaming front. You're battling two wars at the same time with one device and not even an ecosystem. I don't understand, and I thought they got it because earlier they released a PlayStation phone called the Xperia Play, and it's horrible. Worst execution I've ever seen. So they failed with that. So this is their backup plan? Was this? I don't get it, Sony. You blow my mind, and I don't see any type of mass market consumer that will buy this. You're making the PSP again. The PSP was embraced by niche hardcore gamers, and the PSP Vita will be embraced by niche hardcore gamers. Do you really expect to beat Nintendo this way? Do you really expect to beat Apple this way? What are you doing? Alright, this has been Beats McKenzie. That's my rant on the PS Vita. Welcome back to What's the Beat, the relaunch. I can't wait to see you guys on the site. Hit me up on Twitter at @BeatsMcKenzie. Go to the site, it's whatsthebeat.org. And yeah, I'm also on YouTube. Just search Beats McKenzie. Subscribe, please. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy it. I will keep the content coming as much as I can. Take care. Peace.